Imagine this. Have you ever watched someone else succeed with something that you actually thought of first? It's frustrating, isn't it? You had the idea, the vision, but they were ready and you weren't. 'Cause here's a hard truth: success doesn't wait for you to get ready, it rewards those who already are. And today I'm going to show you why preparation is the secret ingredient most people overlook, and how a 2,000-year-old parable holds the key to making sure you're ready when your big moment comes. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, this parable is about being prepared for the Lord's return. But there are life and business lessons we can glean from this story that Jesus told. And the parable is found in Matthew chapter 25, verses 1 through 13. And it says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. That they that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh." So the 10 virgins, or bridesmaids, were waiting for a groom to arrive. All of them had lamps, but only 5 brought extra oil. All 10 fell asleep waiting, but when they were awakened, they went to meet the groom and the rest of the wedding party to go into the celebration. However, the 5 that weren't prepared were left scrambling, and ultimately they missed the opportunity and they were left in the dark. While the purpose of this story wasn't about business, it's still a powerful metaphor for life and business. The wise bridesmaids prepared for what they couldn't predict, while the foolish ones assumed they'd have time later and missed their moment. Maybe this sounds familiar. How often do we think, I'll get ready when the opportunity comes, only to realize that we've run out of time? So here's lesson number 1. You need to focus on preparation over timing. First, success doesn't depend on perfect timing. It depends on preparation. The wise bridesmaids didn't know exactly when the groom would arrive, but they controlled what they could. They brought extra oil just in case it took longer than they expected. In your business, preparation might look like setting up systems before you need them, or delegating before you need to. If you're a business owner, it could mean automating your email funnel so it's ready when customers start pouring in. If you're a content creator, maybe it's mastering negotiations so that when a dream sponsorship becomes available, you're in a place to make most of the opportunity. Let me give you an example from my own life. I planned to reboot my YouTube channel in June of last year, but I waited until the end of August, telling myself I want everything to be just right. I told myself that it wasn't procrastination, that it was perfectionism. But the truth, I was just delaying because I wasn't ready to commit. I realized that waiting cost me time that I'll never get back. So here's the key takeaway. You can't control when opportunities come, but you can control how you'll be prepared when they do. And here's lesson number 2. You need to understand the cost of procrastination. You see, procrastination has a price. The foolish bridesmaids, they thought the groom would come sooner than he did. They figured they had enough oil. or if we continued to wait to come, then they had time to get more later. But the moment came, it was later than they expected, and yet it was before they could take the needed action. So, how often do we fall into that same trap? My last video went viral. Well, viral in terms of my channel. And as a result, I realized there were things I didn't quite have ready. I talked about my upcoming challenge in that video, but I forgot that I didn't actually update the challenge dates in my funnel. I didn't have the system in place to go and edit the dates, and as a result, I likely missed out on some opportunities because I wasn't prepared, because I procrastinated in changing the dates at the proper time. So procrastination doesn't just waste time, it costs you opportunities. And maybe for you, it's delaying a website redesign, or putting off building an email list, or not learning a skill that you know that you need. And by the time you realize its importance, the moment is gone. So think of it like this: procrastination is like running out of fuel on a road trip. You think you'll make it to the next station, but what if you don't? So here's lesson number 3. Realize that consistency builds reserves. You see, preparation isn't a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. The wise bridesmaids, they didn't just bring oil, they brought extra oil because they knew the wait might be longer than they would expect. They had reserves. In life and business, reserves are what sets you apart when opportunities come. As the saying goes, you need to build your well before you're thirsty. So let's break this down. Like for freelancers, reserves might mean building a strong portfolio so you have work to show when a dream client contacts you. For a small business owner, it might be creating a financial safety net so unexpected challenges don't wipe you out. And for content creators, it could be stockpiling ideas or pre-filming content so that you're consistent even when life gets busy. Consistency is the secret to building those reserves. And I've committed to actually creating 2 videos a week, no matter what, for at least 5 years. My last video took off. It gained more views than I definitely expected. But here's the thing. Even if my next 40 videos go back to my typical view range of my first 40 videos, I'm going to keep creating them. Now, why? Because all work works. Every video I make improves my skills, it refines my message, it builds my library of content. My goal is to help you. I'll continue to listen to feedback and determine the best way I can bring value to you. So the next time that YouTube sends me more people like you, they'll see I have something worth watching. Now, let's talk about how you can apply these 3 lessons to your own life and your own business. Number 1 is you can evaluate your oil supply. You can ask yourself, what do I need to build today to be ready for tomorrow? Maybe it's learning how to sell better, or automating your workflows, or creating a financial safety net. Identify your gaps and start closing them, one step at a time. Number 2 is commit to consistent inputs. Consistency beats perfection every time. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about showing up day after day. And for me, that's creating videos twice a week, no matter the results. So what's your version of consistent inputs? The key is to focus on the inputs and let the outcomes take care of themselves. Number 3 is you need to plan for the messy middle. Success is not linear. There'll be times when the excitement of starting wears off, and times when the finish line feels very far away. That is the messy middle. So plan for it and break your journey into smaller milestones. Celebrate the small wins and keep your momentum going. So here's a challenge. Take one step today and start preparing for your big moment. Whether it's evaluating your oil supply, committing to consistent inputs, or creating a plan for the messy middle. The work that you do might not pay off immediately, but it is shaping you for when the opportunity does come. And when it does, you'll be ready, because all work works. It either works for you or it works on you. And if you're serious about wanting to seize your next big opportunity, join me in the Work Smarter Challenge. Together, we'll create a roadmap to double your revenue while allowing you to work half the time. So, click the link in the description to get started. Your opportunity is on its way, so make sure you're prepared. And if you like this video, chances are you'll enjoy this next video where I talk about focusing on inputs even more. So I'll see you in this next video.